Hello my friends, John LaRuffa here with another Straight Up Solo, and in this episode we're going to take a look at Lunar Rush. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Okay folks, and as usual, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and if you have, I do really appreciate that support. Thank you so much. So this is what the game looks like when you start the beginning of it, and also you have two AIs or one AI you can play with. I actually find it easier rule-wise to play with two, because when you play with one you have to do some different things to block routes and other things like that, and it's a little bit simpler just to play with two. However, it will add a little bit more that you have to manage, okay? So what's going on here? Well, basically what you have is you have a system of taking ships and sending them from Earth, carrying some supplies to the moon, and what you're going to do is you're going to use those different materials to make stuff, okay, to produce different things from the moon. And when you produce them on the moon, you then ship them back, and then you can sell them at this market. And the market basically will go down with time as you sell to things, but it will also recover a little bit depending on when you cross some of these thresholds down here, how many things have been sold. So it does spring back a little bit. The basic or the main tropes in this game, however, though, are related to how fast you go to the moon or not. So for instance, if I take a fast launch, I'm only able to use 2 items to hold in this ship. So if I want to get there in 1 turn, I'm only going to be able to fit 2 items, and I can also put 2 of my meeple astronauts on there. If I go with a medium, that would be 2 turns to get to the moon, and then I can fit up to 5 items, 2 of which could be astronauts. And if I want to go slow, I could put up to 9 items, 2 of which could be astronauts as well, but it would take 3 turns to get there, okay? This game is played over 7 turns, so you're going to spend almost half the game before you can get your ships there. And vice versa, 1 turn, 2 turns, and 3 turns on the way home, except it's a little bit different. Coming back, you can't quite bring as much stuff with you. 1 item, 3 items, and 7 items, and only 1 astronaut respectively. Now, any astronauts you leave on the planet, you have to be able to provide them food. If you can't provide them food, well, they expire, and that's bad. You also have to be able to provide them housing. If you can't do that, you lose 25 credits over here, galactic credits, which are basically the points in the game. Now, how do I figure out how this is all going to happen? Well, you do this through a system of bidding. So what's going to happen is you're going to bid for turn order, and you're going to do that by taking 2 of these cards from your different AIs, putting them over here, and then deciding from your hand how much you want to bid, okay? And so you have a deck of bidding cards in here, which I apparently neglected to put out for whatever reason. Here they are. And you can bid 1 to 5 galactic credits. The situation, though, is you cannot bid the same amount of galactic credits after or each in a row. So let's say I was to bid 3. Okay, so I'm going to bid 3 credits. Let's see what these guys are going to do. So we have 1 and 2. So that means I get to choose first, followed by yellow, and then followed by green. And so what I can do is we're going to go through the bidding order to see how we're going to put down ships. All right. So basically, oh, and also you deduct immediately the amount that you bid right there, 1, 2, 3, and then they did 2 for yellow, or I'm sorry, 2 for green and 1 for yellow. There we go. Because this is the AI. No, I've got it wrong. Other way around, 2 and 1. Because this is the AI 1 deck, this is the AI 2 deck. Now, what's going to happen is I have first choice of where I want to go. So let's say I want to get there fast with something to do, okay? So I would go ahead and I would put a fast ship in motion right away over here, and that again allows me to put some things on there. Well, let's say okay, well, what do I want to do? Well, you can turn raw materials into things over here that you transport up into those goods, but you can also build different infrastructure things based on what's over here. So for instance, if I want to build an initial shard mine, okay, then I need to have 1 white, 1 blue, and 1 red cube. So let's go ahead and see. All right, I can put, maybe I'll put a red and a blue over here, because the thing with the whites is these count for 2 slots, okay? So they're bigger in nature. Same thing with these larger cubes for the luxury goods count for 2, and the blues also, and then the smaller ones count for 1. And so you have to be a little bit cognizant of that, of how much you put on there. So anyway, I went ahead, and now let's see what happened here. So the AI2 over here is going to go first. We're going to flip over the first up card. And I'm not going to get into the rules of why you do that, but it says the first thing it wants to do is slow, okay? So I'm going to put this AI ship in a slow spot right here. And what you also do is you immediately deal out one of these AI cards that will tell you what it's transporting based on the line that it's going on, okay? So it's going to take, actually, it never transfers anything up. Sorry, that's only for coming back, okay? Because the way the AI works is it doesn't transport any of these cubes. It's only bringing home what you have here. It doesn't have player boards. It doesn't have ways to manufacture. It's literally just bringing stuff home based on the cards and then selling them for the money. Okay, so again, we're going to flip up the up card over here for this other guy. He wants to go slow, can't do it. He wants to go fast, can't do it. That's already blocked, so he's going to take the medium slot. So there he goes, he blocks the medium. Now, if you notice here, all these slots are blocked. You can set up things to leave the moon right away, and you should, right? But you're going to have to figure out what you want to do. Well, it's my turn first, and I'm going to go ahead and put something on the, let's put it on the medium site here, and the medium site will allow me to get 3 items on the way back. Now we come back to him. What does he want to do? Well, he wants to do medium. He can't. So then he would go to fast, but actually these are all up directions. So he'll go to the down card right away since all the ups are taken. Now he wants to go fast on the way home. So he will take this and he'll block the fast lane, okay? And in this case, I'll put that like that. He will put a ship card on there, and that'll represent what he's transporting home. Same thing here, there's no more up slots left, and so he's going to draw this one and says, I want to go with a medium. Well, we can't do a medium, so then it goes a slow, and the slow goes over here, and he puts an AI ship on it like so, okay? Now, we've effectively gone through the bid for turn order and the choosing the up and down and the loading of the moon. The moonbound ships is what we do next. So I've already loaded them, but you don't technically have to load them right away. It's just easier in the solo mode to load it when you put it on there. And now we move the ships, okay? So to move the ship, everything moves 1 turn all the way up, going up. So like I said, this is going to land on the moon. This is going to go 1 turn over here and 1 turn over there. So these are effectively going to go into my slot, which is the item storage over there. So I have 2 in storage, okay? And then this returns back to my pile. Now, I should have also, at the startup, which I'm going to do right now, had one of these in my item storage just as a thing to get you going in this game. So now we go to the moon phase, and this is where we're going to build gold modules, okay? So these cards right here are like really, really strong, super, really good modules that allow you to do really powerful actions. But just to show you, they're also very expensive to build. You have to have a lot of different resources to do it. Now, if you do get this module, when you put a guy there, you can get 4 food and 4 energy, for instance, and it's worth 6 points at the end of the game. And all of these are varied. The AI will actually take some of these away. If it shows there's spots on here like this, then it will take away 1 or 2 if it was in the any position or first position. So 2 of these cards would be removed randomly. We'll just take these 2 out right here, and they would be gone from the game. So it does deny you spots over there. Okay? So then, after you've done that, then if you were playing with the Moon Wonders situation, you could draft these Wonders, which are basically like cards that you can build for more resources. I don't have those set out right here. But Now it comes to the build and produce section of the game. And here's where you're going to assign your meeples to build things. And it's very simple. If you put it on those spots, you obtain those goods. So remember when I said one of these things here, which one was I looking at? The intermediate shard mine right here. I could build this, and why would I build it? Well, it's worth 3 points at the end of the game, and instead of you getting 1 shard out per guy, you'd actually get 2 shards out per guy. So to do that, I need to have one of these, which I have one of these, but I need a blue. So where am I going to get a blue from? Well, if I put 1 guy here on the basic R&D lab, I can get 2 blue. So I will grab those right now, and I could either put them into my single or I could put 1 in the double. These are just item storage 2 and 1. Now in any order, I have the components I need to build that, or to upgrade, pardon me, this. So I'm sorry, I actually didn't need that was to turn it over to this side, okay? So actually all I really needed to do was have the blue and the white cube. So if I was to do that, that would build me this mine right there. And there we go. That's scoring me some points and giving me some opportunity to build or to get some shards. So if I was to go there, I would get 2 of these shards. Let's go ahead and just put it right here. Then I have 1 guy left. Well, these guys are each going to need 2 food apiece, or I'm sorry, 1 food apiece. So if I don't make some food, I might find myself in a little bit of a conundrum. The other thing I could do is try to generate some energy and maybe use that plus some food later to do other things. So you're trying to figure out what you want to do here. The other 2 buildings you can build are refineries to build the luminarium bars, pardon me, or the lumethyst gems, which are worth a lot of points. Okay, so I've still got some resources. I know I want to transport at least 1 of these, or at least 3 of these back. So I'd like to build 1 more thing, okay, because I have something over there. And let's go ahead and just get 1 of these shards, okay? Or these other ores. I can't remember what they're the luminarium ore, not the shards. Okay, I've used all my guys. Now I have to load the ships, but I need to still pay. I need to have at least someplace for my astronauts to go back to. This can hold 5, and I have to pay 1 food per astronaut. 1, 2, 3, right there to keep them alive. Now I load my ships. I have 3 items I can hold, including an astronaut. Now that we've loaded those, we move them, okay? So this is in transit. This is 1 space over here, and this goes ahead and delivers. And since we are on a fast route, it is going to deliver 1 of those purple gems to the AI2. It's going to deliver those purple gems to the market. So it takes a purple gem, not really, but it would go ahead and gain 8 points, and then that will move the market down 1 spot. Now this was yellow, so yellow is going to go ahead and get 8 points, okay? The rest of this stuff is still in transit. So that's where it stays until the next full round moon phase, when mine will come back. Now you see these different slots. You're going to be able to have different things in these slots to kind of head back and such and so forth. So you're going to have things kind of moving through there, as it were. And that is basically the flow of the game. You're trying to build resources, you're trying to upgrade to get more, to produce more, and you're trying to sell them for top dollar because these points are really important, okay? There's other nuances here. They do give you several different markets you can play with instead of just going from high to low. Some of them have market variability or other things, saddle points and such in there. But that's the basic gist of what's happening here. Now, there is a situation when multiple things arrive at once. The fast ships still sell before the mediums, before the slows. Okay, so that all does happen. But this gives you a flow of the game, and what you're basically trying to do is time the situation of how much do I want to load versus how much can I wait versus, what buildings do I make here to make more production, and how do I turn them in soon, first come, first served with this market. Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea of what's going on. The AI is completely driven from these cards, these card decks, and you're basically flipping them over and doing what you need to do there. So for the most part, once you get a hang of the AI, it's not too difficult to figure out how it actually goes in this process. I also would say that I think you do need to use the AI if you're playing a two-player game as well, or at least maybe you can use the AI. I don't know if you have to, but I'm just showing you the solo here. Okay, let me go ahead and tell you what I think. So Lunar Rush is a logistical, production-based slight market, I wouldn't say manipulation, it's more like a market race type of game. And it does that pretty well. However, something is missing from it for me. And I don't really know what it is, but I don't find the spark in this game. I've played it a couple of times now, and I think what it is that even though you're upgrading your buildings, even though you're producing these goods, even though you're trying to sell to the market, all things that I like to do, I think I've just been there, done that before enough where this game doesn't provide me some kind of twist that I am looking for at this point. So overall, it's a good solo game. There's a good market situation going on here. There is definitely good decisions to make with regards to how do I got something I got to get there really quickly, but do I put a bigger load in and how do I time my situation so I'm producing a bunch of goods to load up a big ship so that bigger load can finish? And then, I don't want it just to be the end because then it's going to sell at a very low price for all these things. So I'm not going to get the points that I'm hoping for. So all that is very good. I just don't know what it is, but it's just not sparking for me as I thought it would. So take that with a grain of salt. I think it's just because I've been around the block too many times in regards to games like these. And when I was watching and researching this game, people were talking about that what really drives the game that they like was what's going on the moon and how you've different producing things and upgrading. But even I find that a little bit, just a little bit too simplistic or just a little bit too basic. And you've got the gold buildings that change it up. You've got the upgrades that make that different, but it's just not singing to me. So I'm going to say this one's probably not going to last in my collection. I'm probably going to be selling it relatively soon, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. If you don't have a lot of games like this or haven't played a lot of games like this, there is a good, well thought out competitive solo mode here, and you can change the difficulties based on the cards you put into play, because the different ships, there's basically easy, medium, and hard ships, right? The hard ships are going to have more goods on them. The easy ships are going to have less. And that is what is going to determine your difficulty. And you can kind of mix and match those to see how you want to play it. So overall, there's a challenge here for sure. And it's a pretty good straightforward game. There's also those cards in there that give you player powers. There's cards that give you player penalties if you wanted something like that. Although on the solo side, I'd probably just turn up the difficulty on the actual solo bots. And then there's also those other things that you can draft or find a way to buy, the Lunar Wonder projects that can change things. So there's variety in this box. Don't get me wrong, there is. I just am not finding that it's for me. So I hope that this was an informative review. I don't ever like to give bad reviews or negative reviews, and I don't think this is. It's just this one isn't going to stay in my collection, but I think there's a good game here. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And whatever you decide to do in the future, I really hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Take it easy, everybody.